Well, good afternoon and welcome to 405 Mason Lane. This is a view down the street, across the street. Big fancy house across the street. And here is 405 Mason Lane and your daughter. So first thing you're going to notice is it's got a huge driveway. And with 3 adults living in the home, 3 cars needing to go somewhere, you don't have to block each other in, which is really cool. Park to the left, park to the right. You can even utilize the garage itself and be able to get out without crashing into one another. It's a double deep garage too, when it comes to how deep it is. So from the street I saw just a 1-car garage, but notice how wide this garage is. That's a true dimension on the width of the garage. And the length is much longer than your standard car. So not double deep, but deep. I like that. So I'll show that to you. Exterior wise, we've got brick, really nice shape, and cedar shakes. And actually real cedar that's been painted. They're pretty decent, very well cared for. The brick is in good shape. This is really normal. See a little bit of separation right here, but no concrete block slipping or cracking that I can see so far. I'm going to walk you around the outside before I take you in, because once I get in, I'm not going to want to leave. The front porch is cool, and a lot of these older homes will see separation between the pad and the concrete porch and the home. This is level and good, which is again showing me that the foundation is solid on this house. Okay, I want to take a step back and give you a quick look at the roof. Now, I'm not in front of the data to tell you how old the roof is, but my gut is you've got about a 10-year-old roof, maybe 12, in that range. It's a flat roof and it's in very nice condition. Has a lot of life left in it, which is good. Not made it downstairs yet to see anything. What do we have here? We have cinder block siding. This paint's a little bit loose but solid actually. That's good. Jalousie windows, so I'm not sure what the basement looks like yet, how that looks. But the blocks look solid. When I see a straight line like this, that tells me this was an addition. Very normal amount of separation there, nothing crazy. The neighbor's property. So that is the back. These are outbuildings, I guess, for that property behind it. Let's take a look at out back here. Now that's locked, so we'll have to go out back when we reach the outside. But this should give you a good read on the property so far, exterior wise. Let's go inside. The goal with this video is to make sure that you're familiar with the home and have time to review it for yourselves. This is an alcove that was added on, and probably the garage was added on later in life as well. It looks really cool. You'll see it inside. So this is clearly a renovation.
Maybe you can only go to the basement.
And here we go. So we've got new laminate flooring, fresh paint, replacement vinyl windows, which are great. That's important. Nice new front door, new storm door. Beautiful kitchen. And there's Laura talking to you, actually. Okay, so I'm going to head down the hallway for you.
It is. It's really pretty, and I love it.
Walk in, turn left, and on your right is a bathroom, a full bathroom. That, it feels like a fiberglass tub in a nice shape. Actually, it looks like a cast iron. It's so nice. Fairly new tub in there. Granite countertop, drop-in sink, vanity, all fairly new, if not brand new. A linen closet here. That's your air return. Pretty simple stuff. This is painted over paneling. Now, that can be done bad or good. This looks like a good job. They actually added woodwork to it. So they didn't tear this paneling off and put drywall on. I see that a lot in the older homes, but it's usually done worse. This is really done nicely. They prepped it well. Wow. Nice big double closet in this room to the right. This must be, and it is, the master. It's got sliding doors out to a brand new deck. We'll take a look at that in here in just a few moments. That's fantastic. All right, so in the master, we have a nice walk-in shower with a bench. That's fantastic. Of course, your toilet and your pedestal sink are behind you. This is a really nice master. For the age of this home, it's got a very nice update feel to it. You've got a second closet here, too. Really hard to find. So, you've got a big wall. Just ballparking this thing, 4, 8, 12, about 16 feet wide, more than enough for a king-size bed in here. Even enough for a king on this side. And then there's your double closets. So this was the first room coming down the hall on your right. There's your entrance to the basement down the end of the hallway. Okay. And then to your left, you're going to see another bedroom. It's a good size room, probably a good 12 by 12 or maybe even a little bigger, maybe 14. Nice double panel closet here instead of your little skinny closets. And they're deep too, nice and deep enough. So this is really good. I grew up in an older home where the closets weren't very deep. Again, this is another good size room. This is probably 12 by 13. It's just a tad smaller. Still has the same size closet, real nice. And all these rooms have the replacement windows. You've got beautiful ceiling fans. Black handles, all the hardware's been redone. Fresh paint so far every room. Super, super nice. I'm gonna walk up the hallway again so we get a feel. And there's your kitchen with Laura. Hey, these cabinets are great, by the way. Look at this pantry type closet here.
The windows look good.
Huge.
Yeah, me neither.
Lots of cabinet space. Lots of cabinet space. So I don't see a full-on pantry, but this is actually almost better. Look.
So that's not bad. So that looks out
And then
over
all the cabinets.
backyard.
This would have been a desk area. Desk in the kitchen was a big deal at the time. And there's your lighting above. Okay, that's a microwave oven cart.
Yeah.
That's a good spot for the microwave.
Okay, so that one has shelves too.
Fantastic. Laura, did you see that microwave shelf?
I did.
That's pretty cool. And that cabinet's really neat too, behind you.
That one is that bottom one over there is really hard to get open. So
Which one?
The one next to the stove.
This guy here.
Yeah, it's packed in there.
Oh, I see. That's a real bad job. They didn't plan that very well, did they?
No, but you know what? You can actually, they're good wood doors. You can actually just.
You could trim
stand
it. You could trim it.
Yeah.
You know where you trim it? Trim it on this side. Cut that side down so you don't see the trim. It's a folding door, so I could probably get to it with that. That's just crazy.
Yeah, we might just be able to read
It's a folding door. It's not a spinner. It's a folding door.
Yeah, Dean said it's a folding door. If you shave it where they meet, then it'll fold up tight.
Yeah, what you do is you take these 4 screws off. I'm going to have this in the video. Take those 4 screws off, remove the cabinet, and then in here, in the center, cut here, so you'll have a shorter distance on this side of the cabinet because it makes contact right there. So that would bring that in a half or quarter inch. Yep. Very adjustable for sure.
Look at that.
Somebody missed a styling cue there for sure. So back down the hallway, to the right again, full bathroom. To the right again, master bathroom and bedroom facing the backyard. Really nice. Basement entrance. Bedroom to the left, bedroom to the left. So we've got 3 bedrooms all on one level. It's a split plan, meaning on one side of the hallway you've got the master. Hey, let's head downstairs. Then we'll check out that backyard and the deck. So get me some lights here. I'm sure I can. So you come down the steps. This is real common. You got a dead end. And they should have a railing here because that's a little bit of a drop off. And that could be an issue for financing. So they might have to put a railing in there to get it closed. Anyway, coming down the steps here, there's the windows we can see from the outside. Now, when I look in basements, I'm looking for water and I'm looking for any kind of mold or moisture issues. Let's take a look at something. Okay, so we've got about 1/3 of the way up. Behind this would be backfilled with with dirt on the outside of the house. What I like is, and you'll notice the pitch to the right, is water runs away from this property, which is really good. When water runs to the property, that's when you're going to find a problem. So, just wandering through, having a look around the room for you. Okay, so this is the finished area. This is very normal. Support beams. Okay, now we're down here on the other end. Now we're about 2/3 backfilled with dirt on this corner. So this is where I'd be concerned about moisture. Okay, and this is paneling that's been here for a long time. It would be soft, it would be brittle. I could punch a hole right through it. None of that is there. It looks really good. So I'm not a home inspector, but I've been on hundreds of home inspections, and the red flags aren't jumping out at me. Somebody's actually done the time to punch through that. What's up, babe? Yeah, I said, Janet, point again. Tell me what you're pointing at. It's okay, it's on the video. What is that?
Oh, that's
a hazard, right?
Yeah.
See, if you come down the steps and you turn left, you're going to fall pretty far. So you need to close that in. Just a railing would be fine. But the first thing Janet does as a realtor, she points at it, right, dear? So we're in the basement. Let's see the unfinished part of the basement here. I'd like to get some lights on. I can't seem to locate a light, Janet. Any light switches? I see some wires. There's a light bulb there, but I don't see the switch.
Maybe it's over here, which would be weird, but...
That would be a good thing. See if that door works. It probably is. There you go. Good job. Fantastic. Okay, so you're standing right at a door that goes outside, which is great.
Yeah, there's another workshop back there, too.
So cool. Right here is a nice finished, we'll call it a man cave, for lack of a better, but a nice downstairs area.
The workshop is there, too.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at that in a minute. So you've got a nice workbench, workshop area.
This looks new.
Wow, it sure does. That's
New.
that Lennox heat. If it isn't new, it's a fairly young one. That's a gas-fired furnace. Babe, I hate to use the word new because I can't tell.
New work.
That's what I just said. I like that word. That's good. And they're also using dehumidifier down here, which is smart. I like that as well. So mold and moisture is a big problem in a basement in Tennessee, and that makes sense. Again, look out the window here. This is a ground level, which is awesome. So there'd be no dirt against this part of the house. Okay, the dirt starts right here. So it would be this way. And then it would be along the front of the house. And if I look at this and I'm very objective, you can see over here at some point, water did make its way here. It's staining a little bit. Looks like it's under control. Possibly a rain gutter needed to be redirected or something to that fact. I'm looking right in there. That looks like an area where they've either had some kind of a staining or something. I can't tell.
What's this?
I look real close to those two areas. But that's not a problem. I just want to look at them over and see. House looks structurally very, very, very sound. It's really good.
What is this, Steve?
What, hon?
Water softener?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. They put salt and tie it inside of it. Back in the old days, they sold them straight from Kenmore. That's a Kenmore water softener. So that's just probably a cartridge that takes either that or it's an RO. I can't tell what it is actually. But it's definitely some kind of a water filtration or softener. Backwash service, neutralizer. We use city water and we don't use that stuff, so I have no idea why you would need it. Unless you're trying to get the soap off your body faster or you don't like the white calcium that's left behind, that kind of thing. And they've got another filter in line here, which might go to, might be to the, that might go to the water source for the refrigerator upstairs. What's up, babe?
This appears to be locked.
What's locked, huh?
The workshop.
Okay, well, there's some keys upstairs. I'll try to come back to that. So this deck is all brand new. And one of the things I always look for is how well is it nailed to the sill plate or is it lag bolted? It's lag bolted. Those are the new flush lag bolts. Every 2 feet should be a good standard. I don't see one there. Now I see a lot of nails. So they've only lagged it to the end for some reason. I don't know why. Home inspector will probably point that out and tell you that you need more lag bolts in the outer band. That one is really wonky and crooked. Why is it? I don't know. Maybe it just looks that way to me, but it looks like it's pitching that away. Secure, it ain't going nowhere. But it is what it is. Decks are one of the things around here that we run into a lot of differences between what the home inspector says and what can be done. So I do like all the hardware is fresh and brand new. It's a good new deck except for that outer band being there, but that's, again, maybe that's why he didn't do it. That's all an existing outer band, so they didn't resecure it. My home inspector would be all over this, saying I want to see lag bolts. See, he's got them on the end here to reinforce it. There's one there, there's one there, and then he built outward. With all these 6x6s, you've got lots of strength and structure, no doubt about that, and a good looking deck. So for what it's worth, it's a heck of a head start over where anybody else would get if you buy a different existing home. So that's pretty solid. I'm going to jump up here and look at the top boards.
The wires hang really low here.
Yeah, they do. Well, those are phone wires, I think.
I know.
Phone or coax.
I know. But you can run into them practically, and we're short.
Yeah, that's definitely not. Don't touch that.
That's not really code. I didn't. It's not really the right way to do it, right?
Well, this is cable television.
Right.
And the cable TV guys are the worst of the business. They will drill a hole right through anything just to get themselves installed and out the door. Yeah, that's definitely coax. It's got 2 bands to it. I don't even know why, but
That won't pass, will it?
sure it will.
Will it?
Yeah, everything passes. What will a buyer and a seller both accept? So that's your old phone lines. Nobody has telephone service anymore, but that's what that is. And this is your coax. It should have been brought up and secured higher.
Yeah.
That's all. Just not horrible, but let's look at this backyard while we're up here. It's pretty awesome. You got a chain link fence backyard, which gives you lots of definitions of where you are. Wow, look at that old outbuilding, Janet. We're gonna need to get the keys and see if we can find access to the outside workshop, which is over here, right, babe, in that garage? And that was locked. So there's an outbuilding right there. Again, we were talking about the quality of the foundation. Let's pick up on that. So this is not good. It's some wood rot. That's pretty bad, okay? That's just sitting there, it's useless. And that would have to be replaced. Generally, an inspector is going to fuss about that, and I like it. But I'm looking for split blocks. I'm looking for hairline cracks or even step line. So step cracks go from block joint to block joint like this, and they're very common. Split block means it can't handle the load. When that block will split, sometimes it'll split like under a window, and then you'll go around the corner and you'll see it split on this side of the property. And if it were, that would be a signal that the property is sinking down in one corner. This looks pretty solid, which is good. Keep in mind this house is probably in excess of 50 years old. I don't have the date in my head, but I will say to you that structurally it looks pretty darn good. This is just somebody laid this out for definition and then put a little pad there. That's normal for it to sag like that and start coming apart because it doesn't have a footer under it, of course. This is a little added porch that somebody put in. Little sun porch. So we'll get to looking at that. There's a step crack. This is pretty normal, okay? But you'd seal those up. You'd be wise to do that to keep moisture from having its way to get in there. When water gets in and freezes, it becomes a way for it to push it out or to damage. So you want to keep those sealed up. This is the other side of the garage. Back side of the garage. Again, lots of concrete block. This was an added addition to it. So here we see a hairline block, a crack in the block. There's your mortar, there's your mortar, there's your mortar. That's a crack in the block. So There's some definite weight right there that caused a hairline crack over time. This is more like, and again, it's over here as well. It's not big. If the gap is more than 1/4 inch, you start to get nervous, but this is hairline. But it is a place where you want to seal and keep watching to make sure nothing is going on with your foundation that needs to be addressed. If a foundation starts to crack, you're going to want to get support underneath of it. And they have jacks to do that. They go underground and then jack it up. But this looks very sound. Oh, somebody's building something over there. I wonder what that sound was. Okay, cool. So, really nice so far. I'm going to take this video, shut it off, and go inside and see what the tape next. The kitchen. And we're going to go out this way. This is the breezeway that you see when you are out in the driveway. The door from outside, if you were to park and come in. And a door that heads out to a little sunroom that we just saw a few moments ago. This is also where they added the laundry room. Now that makes a lot of sense because a lot of these older houses didn't have a laundry room. And they would shove it in a closet or in a garage. So here's another benefit, a cute thing that they did, which was a homemade sunroom. I say homemade, but like I said, definitely was added on after. And this is kind of a homeowner project in most cases. That's your exterior to the wall, original exterior, okay? And they just put some siding on it where it was exposed cinder block where that garage was. They added to the back. This is your little air conditioner through the wall, pretty straightforward. And that one is, looks like it's just air conditioning. You could actually put a heat and air conditioner there if you want this to be a year-round room. They put a little ceiling fan down here. Again, everything looks to be really, really nice condition, which is fantastic. So, giving you guys a look at this. New storm door going out here. Let's get a look at this garage. So we saw the garage from the outside, which was really helpful. Now we're going to see it on the inside. Structurally, the things that have been done to this home appear to be done many years ago. This is not fresh by any stretch. You've got a newer garage door, which is insulated, and it's got the hurricane bars. This is hurricane proofing right here. So when you see these lips, that's hurricane. We came from Florida, so we know what hurricane strips look like on a garage. This hairline crack is not a hairline crack, right? Pretty good crack here. A spider crack, whatever you want to call it. And again, not tremendous for the age of the property. The smart thing to do would be to seal it and keep an eye on it. Okay? There was no expansion joint in this concrete, so it had to break somewhere. This is way too far apart without expansion joints. So the concrete cracks and it just keeps on cracking in Tennessee. I would recommend put self-leveling caulk in here and then paint it again. Paint the floor. And that would just keep it nice and sealed. And again, you keep an eye on whether it's going any further. If this dips, you'll need to have some support. Someone will come in and inject underneath the concrete and match it up and seal it again. But this looks really good. Again, this is older. So my gut is there's no real movement happening. It's very slow moving. They put a sub panel out here for the electrical. Okay, some breakers here off your main box. And they ran wood here and a wood on an angle. That's where your electricity is going. They did a cover here. This is a lot of stuff that was probably done by a very handy homeowner. And it's something that you see pretty often. They've got LED lighting out here. Looks like a very high-end garage door opener module. I have no idea. Garage door opener. They've got LED lights in it. It looks pretty intense. Anyway, not a bad setup out here for sure. Ryobi. I don't know what that does. I don't know why it does it. But anyway. Leave that alone for now. Boy, big cabinets. Again, these look like they're home built. I didn't get a look at the electrical coming into the property. That's a sub panel, but we need to find out where that panel is, because there's more to it, of course, than that. Let's take a quick peek once again outside. I think the panel was there in the corner. So I'm going to go down the basement and do that for you because I think that I would want to see that. And I think you'd want to see that too. Bear with me 1 second. Back down to the hallway. Ah, this makes perfect sense. So we're underneath the sunroom. Right there. That's where the pole comes in. There's your service. And going back in, there's your cable TV box. Cable TV as well, interface. As we come inside. Here's your power panel. And this, of course, is all upgraded to breakers. You've got a... I'm having a hard time reading that in the dark. I believe it's a 200 amp service. But I'll get you a number really fast here by taking a picture. And weird stuff. I don't know what this is sitting around here. This is a dead circuit that's been removed intentionally, so it must go somewhere and it's not needed. That shouldn't be. There's another one. So a lot of the old Romex coming in. I would guarantee the home inspector is going to pop this off and they're going to see something called a double ground, but it's real common. So the ground bar will be on the edges of these circuits and they'll have two ground wires rather running into the same spot. They say it can generate heat and become a fire hazard. I see it every day, but I'd expect to see it on this and be concerned for a home inspector. Just the age of the house, this is kind of normal stuff. Super clean. There's one little step crack. We probably saw that outside somewhere. Again, when you see it like that, you see on the outside, that's why you want to seal it. Keep moisture from coming in through the block and causing problems over age and time. Let me go see if I can find the keys to that spare room. This is a separate independent workshop that again is part of the back of the house. Part of the original structure actually. That makes sense. So remember that the garage was laid out over there. This is separate. So this was originally added onto. Look, see it? It must have been originally finished right here. And then they added this on. And if you look and see all the insulation and the closed box here, where they came on and created basically another outer band and made this addition back on. That's why the master, that makes perfect sense. That's why you have a master with double closets and more space. And because the age of this home, you don't see those kind of features in that master bedroom. So this is where it's all happening, where the magic happened. Pretty cool. This looks like it's in really nice shape and it was well done. Nothing here looks newer. Much older in appearances. And the person that's selling it now has gone in and done a very nice... I don't like when people do it to existing homes because a lot of times it looks like lipstick on a pig. Meaning they just went and dressed up something old. But this is really nice. It's decent. Laura, did you get in there?
I did.
Okay, good.
So the shed is actually, it wasn't locked.
That's fine. Have a look at this one because I just got it unlocked for you.
The shed is shady. The shed is very shady.
Say it again.
The shed is very shady.
Oh, I guarantee it. Looks like it's original.
Oh, and there's one. Be careful of the wasp. I got a tail.
Okay, thank you. So we'll get a quick look at this. It looks like they've got underground conduit out here. I might give you a different perspective than Laura, but just so you kind of see if this building is even useful or if it needs to come down. It's right on the property line, obviously. Very overgrown. The bottom of it, there's a lot of wood rot on the bottom boards. The other boards haven't been well maintained. I've been warned that there are wasps. I don't like to be around wasps because I've been also chased around by them after the fact. They've got some underground piping for water. This looks like it's got a makeshift sort of skirt around it. Almost like they do a mobile home. That's not holding that up. It's just cement slabbed around there. Wow. We can't get a whole lot of read here other than to say that it's not going to do a whole lot for you. Let's peek in the window. That's, oh geez. Old clothing, household goods and junk in there. It's staying dry. That's something. Okay, we'll get a look inside. We're going to be careful. All right. So again, my perspective might be a little more helpful. I don't know, or just add to the help. I'm sure Laura knew a lot. But look up there. They used to have a ceiling strung up here somehow. And a lot of these were the old strips with the cardboard slash fiber panels you'd staple on the ceiling. I can't tell. Actually, looks like it was just white cardboard. If you look right there, you might have had cardboard panels just stapled in the gaps. You keep the breeze down, but there's clothing in here, junk in here. There's one of the walls. Wow, sorry about that. You see me respond. Wow, some homegrown wiring out there. Okay. I can see daylight around the whole base of this thing. And the sub panel guarantee is a fuse box. Hey! So you got a couple fuses in here. And a couple circuits that came in through that panel. Old. And the way things used to be done. By the homeowner. Couple quick dimensions on the lot, 100 by 192, a nice rectangle, and the adjacent lots are shown there.